She walked into training with a rifle older than the recruits. By week's end, they'd learn why legends fear the quiet ones. The morning sun glared off the polished rifles as the trainees lined up at Camp Ironwood S Range. At the far end stood Maggie Cole, a 67-year-old woman with silver-straight hair pulled into a tight bun, adjusting the scope on her weathered 40-3s. The rifle had seen more deserts than these kids had seen birthdays. A snicker rippled through the group. "Look at Grandma's antique," muttered Travis, a cocky 22-year-old with a $3,000 custom rifle. "Bet she has got arthritis in her trigger finger." The instructor, a grizzled sergeant named Haskins, slapped a target sheet on the table. 500 meters, wind is kicking up. Maggie loaded her rounds methodically, her knobby fingers steady. The first shots rang out. Travis hit the edge of the target. Another trainee missed entirely. When Maggie's turn came, the range fell quiet, not from respect, but mockery. Her rifle cracked once. The center of the target disintegrated. Haskins lowered his binoculars slowly. "Cole, where do you learn that hold?" She wiped down her barrel with an old red bandana. "Fallujah," a trainee snorted. "Yeah, right." But Haskins' face had gone pale. He'd seen that bandana before in a photo pinned to a memorial wall. The armory buzzed with rumors after Maggie a shot. Trainees huddled around gleaming new rifles while Maggie sat alone, cleaning her 43 with military-grade solvent. The scent of gun oil mixed with pine as Travis swaggered over. "Nice grouping, Grandma," he sneered, his shadow falling across her workbench. But this ain't bingo night. Maggie didn't look up, her cloth moving in precise circles. When Travis grabbed her bandana, the room froze. A faded 3.5 was stitched in the corner, the insignia of the most decorated Marine sniper unit in Iraq. Behind them, Sergeant Haskins dropped a cleaning rod with a clatter. "Where do you get that?" Maggie finally met his gaze. "Ramadi, 2004. A young armor appeared at her rifle-less receiver. "Sir, these serial numbers classified," Haskins barked. That night, a colonel arrived, his boots echoing on the armory's concrete floor. He examined Maggie's rifle under a blue light, his finger tracing faint notches near the bolt. "These are kill marks," he murmured, "but this pattern is head snapped up." "Yuri Nightingale." Maggie said nothing, her reflection shimmering in the rifle-less cold steel. A midnight drill sent trainees scrambling into the Colorado woods with night vision goggles. Maggie moved like shadow, her dead-its-old gear silent against the pines. "This is ridiculous," Travis whispered too loudly. "She'll get us all killed." At 200, a flare lit the sky, the signal for enemy contact. Shots rang out as trainees fired blanks at silhouette targets. Maggie didn't shoot. She waited and waited until a twig cracked 800 meters out. A shot thundered from her rifle. Across the valley, an instructor's radio crackled. "Decoy sniper neutralized." No one had even seen the target. The trainee stared as Maggie calmly packed her gear, her movements economical as a prayer. "That's impossible," Travis muttered. Sergeant Haskins checked her scope, night vision scope from 2003, uncorrected for elevation. Maggie shouldered her rifle. Didn't need it. Later, in the officer's tent, the colonel examined her file. 2 words were stamped in red: "Ghost here." He looked out at the range where Maggie now sat alone, cleaning her rifle by moonlight. "She didn't miss the elevation," he said quietly. "She compensated for it," in her head. The mess hall fell silent when Maggie entered the next morning. Even Travis kept his eyes on his eggs. At 1,100 hours, the colonel assembled the squad. "Special briefing," he announced. Locking eyes with Maggie, a projector flickered, showing a grainy photo of a young female sniper in Iraq, face smudged with dust. The caption read "Operation Sandpiper Classified." Maggie's bandana was visible in the frame. "Nightingale," the colonel said. "Ghost tier operative. Held the Ramadi Pass alone for 72 hours and 4. Body count confirmed 84. A trainee dropped a coffee cup. The colonel continued. "Records were sealed. Until now." Maggie stood rigid, her hands clasped behind her back. The colonel turned to her. "Why come here?" Maggie's voice was soft but clear. "To remember how it feels to be human." That night, Travis found her on the range, staring at the stars. My brother was at Ramadi," he stammered. "He said a sniper saved his unit." Maggie nodded once. The wind carried the scent of her gun oil and something like regret. Graduation day dawned crisp and clear, the Colorado mountains standing sentinel. The trainees lined up in fresh uniforms, their boots polished to a mirror shine, all except Maggie, who wore her faded fatigues and that red bandana. When her name was called, the colonel presented not a certificate, but a shadow box containing her old ghost tier insignia. "You never needed training," he said, loud enough for all to hear. "We did." Travis stepped forward, his cocky grin replaced by something like awe. He extended a shaky hand. Maggie shook it, her grip firm but brief. As she walked away, the trainees noticed something new. The younger sniper stood straighter. The wind carried the sound of her boots crunching gravel one last time. Back in her barracks, Maggie packed her M43 with care, pausing to trace the notches on the stock. Outside, the colonel waited by a black SUV. "They need you at Langley," he said. Maggie slid into the passenger seat, her bandana fluttering in the breeze. Behind them, a single shot rang out, a rookie finally hitting their target. Maggie allowed herself the faintest smile. The legend was gone. The soldier remained.